Hey everybody, welcome to TIW Podcast. I'm Eric, and today I watched AEW Fyter Fest, which was broadcast on June 29th, 2019. But I also wanted to talk a little bit more about Annabelle Comes Home and the whole Conjuring universe. So just a few things to clarify, because I did not pull up any of this information in the last episode. The Conjuring 3 has not come out yet. It is going to come out. They're currently filming it, and it's set to release in September 2020. So I'm looking forward to that. And the two films that I have not seen in the series yet, I don't think I've seen Annabelle Creation. And I definitely have not yet seen The Curse of La Llorona, or however you pronounce that. I want to see. I meant to see that. I wonder if it's out on Blu-ray yet. It's probably a bit too soon for that, but maybe it is. Maybe I'll have to check that out. It only came out in the theaters like 2 months ago, April 19th. So having these two movies come out so close to each other, that's kind of interesting. And The Nun wasn't really that far away from these either. It was about 6 months between. No, that's like 7 months between The Nun and Curse of La Llorona. But that's still way closer. All the other gaps have been like a full year, at least, between them. But yeah, these movies are awesome, and this I didn't mention the director. Let me just go through the whole cast and everything, not the entire cast, but the director is Gary Dauberman, who is the screenwriter for the previous two Annabelle films, but this is the first one that he's directed, so that's pretty cool for him. The cast, our main characters, we had McKenna Grace as Judy Warren, who I mentioned also plays Sabrina Spellman on Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, young Sabrina Spellman. So when she's a little girl. So that's, I talked about that in the last episode. We have Madison Eisman as Mary Ellen, Katie Sarif as Daniela Rios, and then of course we have Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga as Ed and Lorraine Warren. Also, there is a dedication at the end of the film to Lorraine Warren because she passed away recently. Let's see, where is... Okay, I'm looking on their page. Okay, there's Lorraine's info right there. So Ed passed away in 2006, but Lorraine, she passed away on April 18th, 2019. Oddly enough, the day before La Llorona came out. That's an interesting coincidence. So yeah, it was a dedication at the end before the credits. They had a photo of her and Ed and Judy. That was a nice tribute to her. So very cool. And hopefully she got to see like early cuts of this movie at some point, because it has such cool stuff about like all the different artifacts that they have. And even though Ed and Lorraine, the characters aren't there, they're at the beginning and the end of the film. Most of the film is these three girls, and it's pretty cool that Judy is kind of like, well, she's learning all this stuff, like even if they're not intending to teach her, but it seems like they're actually teaching her all this stuff. But she just knows about all these things, like the prayer bracelet. Is it a prayer bracelet? That kind of thing. She's like, oh, that's this, and this, and it was used for this. This is why it's good, why it's bad, all that kind of stuff. That she's a wealth of information, but also like very scared of some of this stuff. Because she's a little kid. She doesn't have decades of experience with all this crazy stuff like her parents do. So, I thought that was a really, really cool aspect of the film. and it also keeps it from being like too focused on Ed and Lorraine. Because I feel like if all the movies were just about them, then they wouldn't really feel all that special anymore. So I like that aspect of it too. We have a bunch of different characters, ghosts, demons, whatever, that make appearances throughout this, because they're all in that room along with Annabelle. So it was really cool to see all of those. I feel like, man, it's been so long since I've seen some other ones, and even like 8 months is too long for me to remember specifics from like The Nun. But all the different characters that are in there, all these haunts and stuff, are really interesting. And spoilers, there's like a werewolf type of thing. I don't remember that from any of the other movies. Maybe that's in Lorna, or maybe not. I don't know. But it did seem a little bit, it was starting to get on like the Goosebumps side of things, that like, oh, it's like all these monsters are out and about doing all kinds of crazy stuff. Oh, there is a male character who does a little bit of stuff, and he's the love interest of the babysitter, Mary Ellen. And that character, he is played by, Bob's got balls. Bob Palmieri is played by Michael Cimino. So, and then there's a bunch of other kids that are in there that are involved in little parts of the story. They're kind of like the backdrop of all this stuff happening. They're worried about being popular with other kids and things like that. So yeah, I recommend this movie. I just wanted to talk about it more. I have not seen it a second time since this last episode, but I did want to talk about it more because I was thinking about it some more, and I got to get my hands on all these other movies. I don't have a copy of The Nun yet. I don't think. And if Lorna is out, I've got to pick up a copy of that so I can check it out. And Annabelle Creation. I don't think I have Annabelle Creation. But maybe I do. Maybe I do already have it. I just haven't gotten around to watching it yet. No, if I had it, I would have watched it. I'm pretty sure. But anyway, all right, let's talk about Fyter Fest. So overall, I enjoyed this show. It has me looking forward to the next one. It was nice that this one, it was free on BR Live. Outside of the United States, it was on Fight TV on the app there. I guess it was like only like $9, something like that. So very reasonable. And free is awesome if you're in the United States, or if you use a VPN, you could probably get away with that, possibly. But that's cool. And then Fight for the Fallen is also going to be free on there, so that's cool too. So I'll be checking that out most likely. I don't think I have. That's only in 2 weeks. It might be. I'm not sure. I think I am doing something that night or something. But anyway, it was really convenient to watch. I didn't really have any problems with it getting the stream to come up and all of that. You just have to sign up with a Bleacher Report Live account. If you have Facebook, you just click log in with Facebook, and that creates your account right there. And I'd say that's the easiest way to do it, but also the most compromising info way of doing it as well. So if you don't mind that, then it's easy. If you do mind that, then take the few extra steps and just make like a dummy account, that kind of thing. But there is an app, at least on iPhone, iPad for iOS. I don't know if there's an app for Android. I'm sure there is. There's got to be an app for Android as well. But otherwise, you can go watch it in a browser. But I heard that you cannot watch... There's not an app for consoles like PS4, Xbox, all that kind of thing. So it is a bummer if that's what you usually use to watch like Netflix and stuff. You cannot use it to watch this. You have to watch it on your phone or something. So let's talk about the actual show. I think overall, I did enjoy this. It was a very different watching it because I was there for Double or Nothing. So it was a bit of a difference. And I think with that difference in mind, I did enjoy Double or Nothing more than this show. But if I was actually there for Fyter Fest, I probably would have enjoyed it as much as I did Double or Nothing anyway. Although in some cases, watching the broadcast version is helpful for learning people's names and things like that. And also helpful for not having to be around other people very much, or at all, actually. But also is very easy to for my attention to drift and things like that. So there's probably so many really cool things that I missed because there's no you can't skip backwards or anything like that on this app. But there are lots of moments that I wish I could have done that. Yeah. So keep that in mind. I'm not looking at this from. I did not give it my 100% full attention. So I'm just going to really talk about the stuff that stood out to me, the stuff that I liked about it, and some things that I might be excited about for down the line. One of my favorite matches of the night, I'd say there were 4 matches that really stood out to me as my favorites. And this was one of them. It was Best Friends versus SCU versus Private Party. The winner of this match would get a guaranteed spot in All Out. Best Friends won this match. I didn't take any notes on specifics from this, but there was lots of good stuff throughout this. The triple threat dynamic of it got pretty interesting, and yeah, I would absolutely recommend this match, and I believe it's probably still available to just watch on YouTube and stuff, because this was on the kickoff show, or the buy-in, is what they keep calling it, even though it doesn't have to do with that the theme of this show. Anyway, I guess they're just gonna call all of them that. But yeah, it was a cool show, a cool match. Best Friends won, and then the Dark Order appears briefly and then disappears. I was going to say all the stuff that I really like about this match. This is one of the things that maybe not so much that I didn't like quite as much, is that they did a lot of blackout transition type of things, and they just they felt like they took a really long time, like all of them did. So that was that's one of the criticisms I have of this particular show. At Double or Nothing, they only did it once, and it was confusing because nobody was sure if it was supposed to happen, that kind of thing. But then in this case, maybe there was still that same kind of feeling, but it did happen more frequently. So when it did happen, the second and third, and if there was a fourth, I think it just happened 3 times. Oh, okay, it's supposed to happen. Well, the last time it happened was before the last match, which was, yep. I'll talk about that in a minute. Then we had Leva Bates and Peter Avalon with Peter Avalon at her side versus Allie. Allie won that match, and that's all I have to say about it. It didn't. Yeah, I just want to talk about the stuff that I do like about it. So I'm just gonna not say anything else about this match. I could see I could see the stuff that this match involved getting better as time goes on with yeah. Next up, we had Michael Nakazawa versus the CEO Alex Bailey. So this is weird. Lots of oil involved, lots of weird stuff happening. Kind of a hardcore match, but like a hardcore weird match. And Michael Nakazawa won this match, so I guess they faced each other last year. I did not watch the CEO event from last year, but so now they're 1-1. So when they do the show next year, it'll be the rubber match, and there'll probably be lots of rubber involved somehow. So that was the kickoff, the pre-show. They started off really strong with that first match, and then got really weird. So I don't follow. I haven't been watching Being the Elite or The Road to Fyter Fest and all those shows. So there'd probably be a little bit more context to a lot of stuff. I might enjoy things even more, but as of right now, I'm just watching the show, the live events. So that's where I'm coming from on that. The opening match of the actual show was Christopher Daniels versus Shima. And Shima won this match via Meteora. So there's some really cool stuff in this. I thought they both looked great. And this got me more excited for all the is it OWE? OWA? Whatever that company is called. Is it OWA or OWE? I think it's OWA. Anyway, yeah, it stands for Oriental Wrestling Alliance, I think. I should just look that up, but I didn't, and it's too late to go back. So moving onwards, we had Riho versus Yuka Sakazaki versus Nyla Rose. This is an awesome match. This is my favorite match of the night. Riho won, but at one point, some awesome stuff from Nyla. She had both of them in Rusev's Stackolade, the double accolade. I don't know what the regular name of that move is. I'm sorry. Then she also hit Riho with a guillotine knee strike. Like, she jumped off the top ropes into Rio's head as she was dangling across the ropes. That was nuts. That was probably my favorite move of the night, and because there was some other really cool stuff, but most of those made me worry. This one did a little bit too, but at least she was alive after it happened, that kind of thing. So Nyla Rose, after the match, Riho wins the match. But Riho gets attacked by Nyla Rose, and Yuka makes a rescue for her, but then she's betrayed, and we have a very, very sad Yuka there at the end of this match. So lots of emotions going around there, and I'm the most excited about all of the Joshi who are in here in all of these matches, because this 2 events now that this is my personal favorite match of the night. Although it was kind of Nyla probably should have won this match, but I don't know. We'll see how things go going forward. Then we have a quadruple threat, a fatal 4-way between MJF, Hangman Page, Jimmy Havoc, and Jungle Boy, who had his best beast friend Luchasaurus at his side. Let's see. Hangman Page won that match. What was this thing that I wrote down? Oh, that the winner of this match will face Kip Sabian at Fight for the Fallen. So it'll be Hangman Page versus Kip Sabian. Jungle Boy was freaking awesome in this match, and I think he was my favorite part of this. Next up, we had Cody versus Darby Allin, and Darby Allin is an absolute madman. What is this? What is this guy doing? What the hell is this guy doing? I've just seen clips of him before, and now I kind of want to go see, and kind of don't want to see previous matches from him, because he does some crazy stuff in here. This match goes to a time limit draw, and Cody seems to be we gotta have more time. So we can finish this match or whatever. But Sean Spears arrives, and he hits Cody right in the head with a chair, and ends up splitting, slashing open part of Cody's head. There's blood everywhere, and doesn't seem like that was supposed to happen. So we'll see what comes of that. But Sean Spears sending a message to Cody that, hey, I'm here to steal the show. not just to be help to the young guys or anything like that. MJF came out to. He was one of the first people to come out and check on Cody. He was like right there at his side, and I think that plays into all that stuff between them pretty well. Then we had a 6-man tag team match: Rey Fenix, Pentagon, and Laredo Kid versus the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega. Kenny Omega is Akuma, and the Young Bucks are Ken and Ryu. And they, this match was pretty awesome. It was pretty awesome. What was that? Oh, I wrote down the abbreviation for One Winged Angel. I was confused. Like, wait, what does that have to do with? Okay, but anyway, he hits. They eventually win. Omega hits the One Winged Angel on Laredo Kid, and they win the match. So that was a good. Some really cool stuff in that match. And then we had that was officially the end of the night. And then the whole spiel, like, okay, that was the end of the night, but we have one more match, so the lights are going to go out. But then everything comes back on, and then it's like produced exactly the same as the rest of the night. Anyway, it makes make it look different or something. I don't know. But I guess if they did that, then they would be like, oh, they're just copying Gargano versus Ciampa with the light. All the lights were off. They didn't even have entrance music, all that kind of thing. So I don't know. I think they could have done it a little bit differently than that, because they're just making a big deal about, oh, the AEW wants nothing to do with this match, but like everybody's working the match and all of that. But anyway, this match was ridiculous. John Moxley versus Joey Janela, like barbed wire, tacks, more barbed wire on a chair, barbed wire on a piece of board, all kinds of tables, all that stuff. John Moxley eventually wins, but then he wins like in a way that does not. It's super painful for him too, because he also went into those tacks, and that, just not fun in general. But let's see. I was checking on something real quick there. My smoke detector, it's been eating through batteries. Like 2 weeks is how long the batteries last. So I put in a request to get a brand new a replacement smoke detector, because that has to be the detector itself has to be the problem at this point, and not the batteries, because they're supposed to last a lot longer than that, like a year, that kind of thing. So so I'm recording in a different room with like the door closed and stuff, but you still might hear a very distant chirp like every minute or so. So I apologize for that. But anyway, Moxley wins, and then he is attacked by Kenny Omega. Is thrown into the drum kit that is like all the stage dressings that have been set up throughout the earlier in the night. Not set up. They were set up earlier, but they were established as story elements earlier in the throughout the night. Like with Kenny backstage, he's like carrying in pieces of the drum set himself to get ready for the bands, but the bands cancel, all that kind of thing. But I think the most painful thing out, like in this aftermath of it, well, there's like putting him through table and stuff like that, but also the electric guitar hits to the back of Moxley, like hit into Moxley's back. That had to have really, really hurt, because an acoustic guitar, especially if it's rigged up right, it'll just like smash to pieces. And sure, yes, doesn't make it painless, but that's a completely different thing from an electric guitar, which is like a solid piece of either wood or or like a heavy plastic, depending on what kind of material it is a solid piece. There is no give to that. There's no smashing to pieces, like the impact just making it explode instead of just going right into the person. So man, that looked so painful. That and the tacks when he took off Joey Janela's shoes and his socks for all those thumbtacks. They're spread all over there are 2 bags of tacks. They spread all over the place. Like, man. Although one thing I couldn't really tell. I thought that they were already like stepping all over the tacks, but it was like the texture of the AEW logo on the mat. So I was a little bit more. I was reacting to it even more than necessary, because I thought they were stepping on it already, but they were off to the side of it. But anyway, that's like a stupid comment or criticism. It's not really even a criticism. It's just saying how I reacted, because I thought that the tacks were also over there on the logo. Anyway, man, this match, Kenny versus Moxley, that's going to be real good. And I'm excited for it. This just keeps it burning, going towards it. So yeah, overall, I did really enjoy this show. I didn't enjoy it quite as much as Double or Nothing, but Double or Nothing, I mean, there's lots of surprises we had, and there was just like all of that first time excitement to it. And of course, actually being there in person is a much different experience to watching it at home. And it was just watching it on a tablet. I didn't have it playing on my TV because I like figured out downloading that app and getting signed in and everything like right before it started. And I didn't want to take the time even more so to get it working on Apple TV. If they do have an app on there, they might. If they do, then that's how I'll watch it the next time. It wasn't so much getting it installed, but like the getting signed in. That was the harder part of doing. It's not hard. I was just being lazy. I got signed in on one thing. I was like, okay, that's good enough. I'll watch it on that. So anyway, yeah, I will definitely be trying to. I think I might be going to a concert that night instead. If it's on the 15th, I think that's when go see Real Big Fish and the Aquabats. And it's the night before Extreme Rules, but. Yeah, I'm looking forward to see more matches, especially from Yuka Sakazaki and Riho. Those two are awesome. Nyla Rose is pretty cool too. And I think that my biggest disappointment of the night is that I did look at the card beforehand, and I was excited to see Kylie Ray in a singles match. But she was replaced by Allie to face Leva Bates instead. Yeah, but I don't know. I don't know if that match actually would have been made more enjoyable or not. I'm not sure. But hopefully things are okay with Kylie Ray, because she's been she hasn't posted anything in a while on Twitter and all that. So like, I don't know what's going on. And hopefully everything's all right. I don't know. So yeah, that would be like the really the only disappointment for me personally was that change was made to that match. Because I was looking forward to seeing her fight. So that's it. That's it for Fyter Fest, and that's probably not it for Annabelle Comes Home. Because now I've talked about it even more. I want to go see it again. I gotta go see those other movies. Because I really don't think I've seen Annabelle Creation yet. But yeah, stay tuned for all of that. Let me know what you thought of Fyter Fest and what you're excited for to see next in AEW. By tweeting me at TIW Podcast. Go to TIWpodcast.com for more reviews. If you enjoyed this episode or anything else on the site, please share some links with your friends. Subscribe on iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, YouTube, wherever you like to listen. And stay safe out there in all of the infinite multiverses. I'll see you next time here on TIW Podcast. Bye.